On today's City Beat, Shanghai welcomes artist Richard DeDomenici, bringing his new Redux project to the city. We all love hot pot here in China. Now let's head to LA and see what they're doing with their hot pot. Working entirely with leather, we see how everything become beautiful works of art.
Hello and welcome to City Beat, where we have all the latest in art, culture, entertainment, fashion, and lifestyle straight from Shanghai to you. You can always scan our QR code or check our official WeChat account for all your City Beat updates. I'm your host, Lisa Zhou. If you recall, in the 2013 film Her, there were several scenes shot right here in Shanghai. Now, as artist Richard DeDomenici brings his Redux project to Shanghai, he's gone to the exact same places and copied what happened in the film, but in his own way. Let's find out more.
As an artist, here are some things Richard DeDomenici has already done. He dressed like a torchbearer, holding his own homemade torch, running just moments ahead of the actual Olympic torch relay at the 2012 London Olympics. He claimed unintended baggage by sticking himself inside of it. For the last 2 years, he's been busy with his Redux project, traveling the world and faking clips of blockbusters where they were actually shot. Richard DeDomenici recently came to China as one of the artists of the British art community Forest Fringe.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the award-losing Richard DeDomenici.
After visiting Guangzhou, he came to Shanghai and talked to us all about the Redux project.
It started by mistake. I was in Paris and then Berlin, getting trains across Europe, and I recognised the stations when I was waiting there for the train as being in movies. And the Berlin station was in the Bourne Identity. The Paris station had been in the film Amélie, and at first I didn't have the film with me, but I tried to remake Amélie from memory. It's very, very bad, very silly, but fun, something to do whilst waiting for a train. That was about 2009, and then in Berlin in 2011, by that point I had an iPhone, I could download a clip, I could shoot video on my phone, so the technology was progressing that it was very easy to suddenly make something that looked a bit like a movie. Not long after that, Andy from Forest Fringe asked me if I had an idea for a project in a cinema in Bangkok, so it had to be something to do with film. So I thought about these things that I'd done in Berlin and Paris, which weren't really art, it was just something to do. I thought maybe I can turn this into a project.
Though it was only meant to be a one-time thing, critics preferred DeDomenici's version even better than the original films. So he decided to do it more. Now he has almost 40 Redux films from all kinds of films around the world. He's also developed his own format of doing it.
But until we do, these people are still a part of that system.
So far, people have invited me to come to a city. If I already know films from that city, I will suggest those maybe, or I'll seek out the locations. So there's a lot of research. I think probably 90% of the Redux project, the work is research, trying to find the location, seeing if they're still there, working out if there's permission or if you can film there without being moved on or arrested or something. So there's a lot of research. I drive around a lot in Google Street View, or in this country Baidu Street View, I think. So I was driving around Guangzhou a lot in that, virtually looking for locations and building. So it's mainly 90% research, then maybe 9% editing, and probably only 1% is the filming. We shoot very quickly because I use volunteers, so I don't want to take too much of their time, and if it goes on for more than 3 hours, I get bored, they get bored.
Everybody! La 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 la. Oh, what are you gonna do? The whole ignore me thing? Well, can you blame her?
not like you're exactly there for her mentally.
Richard's Reduxes have covered quite a few film genres, including science fiction, action, romance, and comedy, among others.
Just keep walking.
But probably his most interesting endeavor is when he tries to recreate some of the special effects all on his own.
I think he's behind me.
Whatever you do, don't look back.
Here we go.
The first special effect we had was Cloud Atlas, when we had cars and they were made from cardboard and we shot in camera. Luckily the road was very not busy, so we could film in the street. And we had broken glass, which we did with crushed ice. That was how we did the effects. So it was all practical effects. Still quite difficult, but we could do it all in camera. For Seoul, I originally thought we could do the same thing, but the roads, there's too much traffic in Seoul. It's too dangerous. So I had to use a green screen, which I'd never done before. But I knew the basic principle, so I bought a piece of green paper from a stationery shop and some very small Avengers toys, and I was just trying to light them and shoot them. It was tough, but I think it worked quite well. So I know that I can do big special effects movies now.
All Richard needs to make a Redux is a camera and a laptop. But this time in Shanghai, when he reduxed the film Her, he tried using some new equipment.
Her, the one that I shot in Shanghai, was we used this new GoPro and gimbal, which is like a Steadicam. And that gives you some beautifully smooth shots, but the GoPro has no kind of focusing or depth of field, so that's a bit problematic. But we shot it in like 4K, so it's like super big, so you can crop it quite a lot and stuff without. So there's a lot of post-production.
But we fell in love together and we got married together, and it's important to me that we do this together.
Right.
I had a guy, Yong, who is actually he makes soap operas. He's a cameraman on a big soap opera in China, so he knows his way around a camera, and he was very professional. It's never exactly the same, but there is always some very obsessive attention to detail. I try and source props locally, but that was a very specific red shirt, so I bought that from England. It was quite recognisable, that shirt, with a white button. When you go to the Times Museum in Guangzhou, they give you a sticker to put on your arm saying Times Museum. And so I got some scissors, it was a white sticker, and I cut lots of little circles out of this sticker, which I still had, and I just stuck them to the shirt. So a cheap, practical effect.
She has a body.
And we're getting divorced.
I know. Being silly.
So, I'm available.
When Richard DeDomenici gave a speech on his Redux project and premiered his version of Her here in the city a few days back, the audience burst into laughter again and again. But what exactly is it about the project that people love so much?
我觉得他在做他觉得很有意思的事情，那同时这个应该是非常 crowd pleasing， 就是非常受大众喜欢的这样一个项目。
This isn't the Matrix。
想法很空前，是非常自由的一个艺术家。然后我比较期待的是和战队之类的这样的片子，非常廉价的特效会跟那个好莱坞的特效有多大的差异？
I know that people like the mistakes the best. I try and be accurate, but always people laugh and make the most noise when something goes wrong. I think that's what they like. It's something about exposing the fakeness of it, because films are already fake, and my versions are fake versions of fake films, and I think that by doing this, hopefully, we can collectively find a kind of greater truth. The fact that no one has asked me to stop yet probably means that it is part of the immune system of Hollywood.
What is it? It's a velociraptor.
At the end of the speech, Richard DeDomenici actually told the audience that he planned to make 80 Reduxes and will write a book called Around the World in 80 Reduxes. Well, we certainly hope to see the book coming our way very soon. Coming up next, Hong Kong food critic Chua Lam comes to Shanghai in search of classic Shanghainese cuisine. We all love hot pot here in China. Now let's head to LA and see what they're doing with their hot pot. capital soup, crab meat with bean curds, and xiaohundun. They're all classic flavors of Shanghai. And that's what's up today, when we took a look at some of the foundations of Shanghainese cuisine. Known as one of the four aces of Hong Kong, Chai Lam is one of China's most famous food critics. He recently came to Shanghai to join ICS's fine dining and talk to local food critics Guan Jia, Lao Bo Tong, and Shi Jia Fan. They told us a little more about what classic Shanghainese cooking is all about. Some might think a lot of oil isn't the healthiest, but according to Chai Lam, there is no unhealthy food, just unhealthy eating habits. And especially when it comes to noodles, the lard is essential.
不能少猪油是吧？现在香港的所有的上海菜馆都不用猪油。我们每一次叫一个葱油拌面，总要叫2个菜，就是要叫一个红烧盐蹄，再叫一个猪油拌面。那么把那个红烧盐蹄上面的那层猪油捞起来，那么浇在上面，这样比较像样一点。
上海菜灵魂其实是猪油了。大家说到上海菜，往往会想起浓油赤酱这4个字嘛。所谓浓油其实就是猪油。上海菜很多菜都要用到猪油，包括炒素都是要用到猪油的。
In his book Legend of Condor Heroes, famed author Jin Yong refers to the dish Moonlight on 24 Bridges with tofu and Chinese ham. Chai Lam reinvents the dish, finding a more practical way of creating it.
那么就把这个火腿的后面切了1/3上来，那么把其他的2/3的地方就挖洞，用电钻挖洞。 有挖24个洞在，把那个豆腐藏在一个圆圆的，藏在火腿里。
Another foundation of Shanghainese cuisine comes in the form of thick red sauce. A mix of soy sauce and sugar, it's all about balancing these key ingredients.
其实一个好的厨师的话，他对上海菜那个糖的剂量是非常讲究的。如果你过头的话，可能就会变成无锡菜了。
上海人这个烧菜并不是说多糖就是对，糖和酱油是有一个合理的比例的，它们是相互之间有一个支撑和配合。 我们上海著名的私房菜，汪姐她就经常说一句话：“你不要怕，糖下去以后有酱油的吗？有酱油在的吗？”就是这句话就表达了那个上海菜里面那个糖的地位到底应该是怎么样的。
Our local food critics also took him to try a rare tradition in Shanghainese cuisine.
这次我带蔡澜先生去了课堂间。 他们最近复原了一道老菜，叫青鱼突肺。突肺就是青鱼的肝嘛，大概要30斤左右的青鱼，取它的肝才能做一盆菜，这个样子。这道菜据说以前是杜月笙非常喜欢的一个东西啊。
For Chai Lam, his visit to the city gave him a chance to try the cultural delicacies of Shanghai, while connecting with some of our own food critics here. And with thick oil, Chinese ham, and red sauce, Shanghainese food is a melange of diverse flavors.
Now let's see what else is happening in Shanghai and beyond.
The Four Seasons Hotel Shanghai has teamed up with the rising artist Tang Bo-chun for a 3-month interactive art workshop. The creative space showcases innovation in fashion through a dynamic pop-up event.
Shikomen is our neighborhood in the heart of Shanghai, where our beautiful hotel is located, and the surroundings and the old-style buildings just behind our fantastic hotel. Therefore, we want to angle this with the Shikomen.
After graduating from the Fuzhou Art Academy, Tang Bojun has dedicated his career to oil painting with a focus on still lifes and landscapes. He uses both Chinese painting and oil painting techniques to show the beauty of Shanghai's classic Shukemen lanes.
中国人我觉得对水墨的感情是比较深一点，他一笔下去有浓淡，墨分五色，然后有虚实。我画的这些都是取部分的元素，没有把它像油画一样把所有的细节那么理性的画出来。那油画就不一样，油画它细节特别多，特别理性，把这段历史的就是记录的就特别真实一些。
The workshop aims to approach the spirit of traditional architecture with a modern perspective. The interactive approach allows hotel guests and friends to feel the dynamic fusion of art and life, all happening on location with the artist in person.
Hot pot is a very popular food in China. Now it's getting more and more popular in the LA. Today we're going to check out a famous hot pot restaurant in LA and see how they adapt to the American food tastes.
In 2013, Haidilao brought its business to the Los Angeles area. A lot of their services are different from those in China. So today let's go and see how it's adapting to the American food culture.
Besides having a community pot now, everybody has their own individual pot here now. So it's not about sharing no more for your soup bases, but you still share your food, what you guys do order as like when you order your a la carte sides or your meat or your vegetables. So you guys are still having that same feeling, but with your own soup bases now, that's what it is.
In China, people use the paper ordering, but now we have their iPad here.
Correct.
Can you show us a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So now when you order your soup base now, of course, if you don't know the soup bases, we're going to give you a brief explanation of the soup bases and basically suggest the right soup bases for the customer. So just say, of course, our most popular one is our filtered spicy soup base right here. You know, it's beef-based soup base with Szechuan oil, has a lot of, it's really spicy and it leaves a numbing effect towards your mouth, of course. So especially with the American customers, we have to explain this to the customers because sometimes a lot of American customers don't like to eat a lot of oil or have a lot of oil in their soup bases.
Process to me, I feel like it's just doing the online shopping and you pick what you like in a cart and then you check out automatically.
Correct. Basically, we offer combos too. So our first row is all of our combos. So every combo comes with its own mixed vegetable. So we have the seafood combo, which comes with scallop, mussels, squid, shrimp, clams, etc. in there. And then it comes with your veggie platters for you too. 7 different types of vegetables in there for you too. For the Angus prime ribeye, we have meats. We have the Angus prime ribeye, the boneless short ribs, and the supreme beef. Once we finish ordering, now we're gonna have you guys come to basically to the sauce bar. So these are different types of sauce that we have right here. So on the bottom, as you can see, we have like sesame sauce, homemade soy sauce, vinegar. On the rest of the side, we have like oyster sauce, tofu, Japanese chili powder. We still offer, like, when you're waiting 2 hours, 3 hours, we still have the snacks for you, the popcorn, the chips, the fruit cups, as well as we also offer basic kebab sticks too for customers. With the manicure and pedicure, we kind of took that away because it's somewhat against health regulations too. We can't have our customers receiving any manicures or pedicures or a shoe shine right next to the restaurant, especially if it's located inside a restaurant too. So we can't have that whole service there. As of right now, it's been popular. It's been really busy lately, I would say, especially during the weekends. The weekends, the wait could range from 2 hours to 3 hours.
How do you entertain them while they're waiting?
Well, our host is always there trying to talk to them, to keep them happy, always making small casual conversations other than just giving them a wait time too as well. Sometimes they've been waiting for too long. The host will come inside to grab some little snacks such as like the fruits or some congee or something for the customers to eat too while they're waiting too.
There are games to play, magazines to read, and snacks to nibble on. Customers come in hungry and leave with smiles and full appetites. I'm Xiaoyun reporting from Los Angeles.
Coming up next, working entirely with leather, we see how everything become beautiful works of art.
From shoes to wallets, lampshades, and works of art, we're heading to the Ge&E leather carving studio, where sheets of leather are turned into almost anything you can imagine.
Intricate carvings, fine shading, and elaborate designs. At a first glance, this may seem like woodwork. In fact, everything from wallets to handbags, card holders, and belts are all entirely done with leather at the Ge&E Studio.
Ge&E，它其中是有这个革新的寓意的，希望就是说可以创造一些不同的东西。我们产品特点呢是纯手工的，然后是一针一线，包括雕刻，包括染色，都是由人的手然后完成的。
With artistic leatherwork throughout the space, it almost seems more like a gallery than a workshop. And at its head is founder Bai Yudong.
这一款呢，它这是我们一个极简短夹，然后是专门为夏天做的，然后就是说特别薄，很简单的就可以带出去。然后像这边呢是卡包，然后颜色上呢就会比较跳跃，就会有一个撞色。像这呢是零钱包，就平时上海的话用硬币比较多嘛。然后就说会备一个零钱包，然后就这个呢设计的比较有意思一点，就是整个是一张皮，只是需要2个扣子扣起来而已。这边呢是我们的陈列柜，然后这边展示的都是一些比较成熟的一些作品，然后都是皮雕的。像我们的这个作品呢，它是浮世绘系列的，然后就是神奈川冲浪里的。像这种产品呢，就是说。基本上就是说很少有可以做成这种既是皮雕的，它是一个立体的，而且还有能做成一个手工制品的这种产品。
On display are final products, but everything you see here begins with a single piece of blank leather. Each piece uses special techniques to create unique individual work.
我们一般制作流程呢是分了3步，主要是3步。然后第一步呢就是雕刻，然后第2步就是上色，然后第3步是将这个上好色的这个产品给缝合起来。雕刻要注意的事项呢，就是因为它这个是将那个皮从一个平面变成一个2维的东西，2维甚至3维的一个东西。然后呢，它要注意的就是说一些细节，包括动物的毛发这种的工艺上要求特别高，所以说制作的时间也会比较长。
上色的过程中比较难的一点就是你把握整个颜色的协调性。一般我们看到的皮革都是偏那种黄色，或者有的皮革时间久了会发那种就是陈旧的感觉。如果往皮革上上色的话，要考虑到它那个跟皮子结合之后的变干之后的颜色，所以在上色之前都要考虑。
最后一步呢，就是缝合跟一些贴合啊，包括一些特殊工艺的一些处理。我觉得做缝合这个工作的话，我最考验的应该是一个人的耐心，如何去一针一线的去缝合这个产品，让你每一个针脚都看起来错落有序。缝一块皮的话，不像缝一块布那么简单，每次穿针的时候，你要考虑好它线的走向跟一定的力度，这样子才能让缝制出来的产品看起来更加的精致和精美。
This studio gives people a chance to come in with their own custom designs. Customers can either come and create their own leatherwork or browse the shop for something cool to buy.
我觉得他们做的都还挺有个性的，现在年轻人都很张扬，然后他们做的这个像这种饰品的雕花什么的，一个它很精致也很耐看，再一个就可能也比较符合现在年轻人的一个心理上的，对个性的一种需求。
首先，我觉得他们这是一个工作室嘛，然后他们有成品，然后到那个就是中间的步骤，再到那个工作台，都一系列都有，所以让我感觉就是 可能他们跟顾客的要求就可以很完美的表现出来，你需要什么他们就做什么，然后再加上他们的一些设计，这点让我挺喜欢的。
说因为现在名牌包包啊，各种那种包包很多，但是像这种纯手工啊，纯手工打造，他们基本上每一个包都是一针一线缝出来的，它那所有的花都是一点一点雕刻出来的，而且我是感觉他们每一个包都是独一无二的。因为手工做的嘛，不可能有一模一样的，这就是他们最特别的一个地方。
The G&E Studio was built on a strong concept. They firmly hope the space will allow young people to learn leather craft work.
现在很多见到的传统的这种工艺方面，都是一些年老的，然后像我们这样的年轻的是很少的，所以说我也就是说，我们希望我们年轻人也有这样的一批人来推动这个手工艺。对，
即使有一天我们能够出名了，或者让更多的人了解到我们，我觉得我还是更希望的是，我们能够安安静静地坐在这里，慢慢的用心的去制作每一件作品。
Bai Yudong and his team take a humble approach to leather work and hope this skill will find a home with the city's youth, with unique designs, spectacular work, and creativity at the center.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's show, but join us next time when we talk about the successful Hollywood screenwriter Michael Arndt. Also, remember to scan our QR code and check our official WeChat for all your City Beat updates. I'm your host, Lisa Dell. Thanks for watching. Bye.
On the next City Beat, we check out Hollywood screenwriter Michael Arndt.
In the Oscar race, I suddenly felt like, oh my God, the movie is happening all over again. It's very gratifying